Hello there and welcome back. So we're on mission 7 of the Zerg campaign now, the culling. So what we had to do in the last mission was we had to, with Kerrigan, destroy a large force of protoss that she had detected. She sort of called out and challenged Tassadar. He eventually did turn up, but it was a trick, an illusion, and he made some comment about her being predictable. So it's a possibility that Tassadar had something else sneaky planned on the side. We're going to see if that's the case in mission 7, the culling.
Insufferable protoss coward. Tassadar cannot evade my wrath forever. I shall find him and cut it.
Kerrigan, Zaz is dead.
Oh, it is a pity that cerebrants cannot truly be killed. I expect that the Overmind will reincarnate him soon.
No, he will not. The protoss have devised some new attack. An attack powerful enough to nullify our reincarnation and give pause to the Overmind itself.
So, Tassadar's plan was merely a diversion. I should not have underestimated him so.
Without its master, Zaz's brood has run amok, and even now threatens the hive cluster. Cerebrate, you must eradicate the rampaging brood and stem any further damage it might cause. I shall deal with the protoss myself.
So there we go, we've been tasked with eradicating Garm brood, which was the brood which belonged to Zaz, which has now run amok after the death of their Cerebrate. So you might remember at the start of the last mission, Kerrigan had a bit of an argument with Zaz, and he said something along the lines of, "You will be the downfall of us all." So in a weird kind of way, I suppose that's come true for him. But let's protect the hive cluster. Okay. So we're going to get the Defiler on this mission, which is quite a powerful Zerg unit, which is it's a very potent spellcaster. I'm not actually that great at using them though, but I'll try and make some use of them this mission. Those I'm going to put into Control Group 1, Control Group 2, but what we're going to do first is just keep them all together, and we'll attack, try and pick them off piecemeal. Try and do some focus fire on each one. And there will still be some more enemies to kill around here, so here, clear these off, pull those out of the way, and then we'll sweep up, clean up here, bring these drones in, and we will do some scouting with these overlords while we're waiting, which are going to be very slow because they've not got their upgraded speed yet. Bring this down, we've even got the drones in attacking. And we'll clean up here. So, let's get a hatchery built. I think that one of the closest, unfortunately those lava are getting in the way as well. So, let's get these hydrolists out of the way. I think what the best place for us to go is probably here. And then we can have these mining. Now what I'm actually going to do is just to get... I can't build that until we've got the hatchery, so we're going to build an extractor there, and then we will have these two to start mining right away. So that's our control group 3, this is a control group 1, and we'll move these overlords around, see what we can see. While we wait for these buildings to construct. So we've got an overlord coming across there. In fact, I'm going to see if I can sort of snipe that. Just because it's one less thing to potentially do, and we've got a ramp going up into a Zerg base there, so that's going to be something. That's probably going to be a pretty high priority target right there. Not that far off the hatchery being complete, and then those drones will return their minerals. We're also going to want to set some defences here. hugely unsurprised if there were some drops attempted here, so we're going to want to think about how we're going to cover that. So some creep colonies, probably to spread some creep around, and then we can morph them into sunken colonies up here. But let's get these drones going first. Didn't realise those ones hadn't been mining. And we've actually got some burrowed zerg here, so I'm going to see if we can take those on. Let's check what bit. Yeah, so we've got 2 zerglings there. See if we can just kill those off. Now, one thing we are going to want to do is get a spawning colony pretty quickly, because that's going to unlock a lot of options for us as well. That certainly wasn't what I wanted to do. And we'll just pop that there, because we're still waiting for the creep to grow. And soon we'll pop out some harvesters for gas here as well. Now we know we've got a potential expansion up there, if there is a zerg base up there, which there probably is. As you can see from there. And there's plenty of defences, so we don't want to be engaging into those just yet. Throw some more drones out. At the moment, it's kind of just a case of sort of droning up, as it's called. Now, while we're here, let's get 2 things. For defences, we'll need an evolution chamber for the spore colonies, and I would very much like to get a hydralisk den. Now, we're going to have to start thinking about mining the gas soon as well. And possibly consider getting a macro hatchery just for the additional larvae. I'll have a look. If I'm floating minerals at some point, I may do that. But we'll see. So, got a few buildings to work with now. I think a creep colony would not go amiss. We'll stick one there. And I'm actually going to stick another here, because if there's anything I learned from the last mission, it's plenty of creep colonies help. And I'm actually going to start moving. I'm going to move these over to gas, and any that come out can go back onto minerals. Because we're definitely going to start needing to collecting some gas. So we'll have the sunken colony here. And we're definitely going to need to think about how we're going to deal with this base. Going to want to consider a lair soon as well, so we can't just snipe the. Well, we could certainly probably take the hydralisks with the mutalisks, but whether they the amount of damage they would sustain in doing that would be worth it, I don't know. I'm going to move that rally point a little bit closer, and we want to start thinking about some of these upgrades as well. While doing that, I'm going to think about putting a creep colony up here as a spore colony. We'll need to save up some minerals. There we go, as a drone. And we can probably start looking at getting some upgrades very shortly as well, which would be a very good idea. We also want to consider how and when we are going to get our lair. There is a temptation to try and see if we can pull those enemy hydralisks down the ramp. I think we're probably going to be... We're going to want to keep building drones, but we're going to want to also start thinking about our upgrades very shortly. Although we should get to a point where building drones won't actually inhibit us selecting upgrades, provided we don't get oversaturated here as well. So about 2 per mineral patch is probably okay. In fact, let's get the Hydralisk range. And in fact, even while we're waiting for that, we can get Zergling speed as well. And then we've got enough to build a drone, so we're starting to get to a point where our economy is really just sort of flooding money in now. I think we probably want to think about getting a layer. That will allow us to tech up to flyers, and it will also... Now we need an overlord. It will also allow us... it will allow us to get some of the overlord upgrades, which will be very useful because we want to be able to move those around quickly. I'm going to get... Can't get Zerglings yet. In fact, let's get another creep colony out. Now, what you'll notice, and you may have noticed this on earlier missions, but as soon as a Zerg building starts building, it will reduce that unit count by 1. You can actually cancel buildings and sort of do little tricks to get slightly above the supply count if you ever need to. Right. Let's get some more Zergling Hydralisk upgrades. I also feel like it's probably a good idea to get some damage upgrades. So, need more minerals. Do a quick save. Now what I'm going to do is see if we can move these near the bottom of the ramp, hold position with them, although I don't want him entirely on his own, and see if we can pull some Hydralisks down the ramp. It's going to be difficult to do that. Let's get the pneumatised carapace, and can we afford... That's quite the long way around to be going. What are these guys doing? And let's get a spire while we are at it. I was thinking of getting a macro hatchery anyway. I'm tempted to get one just so these drones aren't taking the really long way around here.
We require more minerals.
Actually, because I'm starting to get to a point where I'm running out of lava anyway. I think we can probably go for it. It might be a bit much, but we'll see. Of course, it's going to mean 1 or 2 drones are going to be going a really long way around, but we'll cope with that. Let's spawn some Zerglings. Now, potential attack coming in here. So we'll drive that off. Okay, fortunately I don't think there was much to that one. But I'm going to build another creep colony down here. I want to get a fair amount of static defences. And in fact we'll stick one up here as well. Yes, now we've got an attack there. I think it's absolutely going to be worth considering getting another creep colony down here then. Especially if we're going to be building a hatchery there. So let's have this spawn. Big Zergling force there. Definitely very helpful to pay close attention to the minimap. So, let's see what we can do here then. Let's get that site upgrade when we can. Now, the Zerglings, if they run into the creep colonies, we'll take a lot of losses just from that, but I'm not entirely sure we can count on it. So we should start thinking of looking to our defences. I'm going to get that burrow upgrade because I think that would be very useful. We've got some pretty fast moving overlords now as well. So let's do some scouting over here. And I think we also want to start considering getting some more mutalisks.
We require more minerals.
Stands to reason. So, looking at quite a few Zerglings there. It's possibly a force we could take on. We definitely want to look at getting some upgrades here. I think actually I'm going to build a second evolution chamber so we can get simultaneous upgrades. Actually, right, you don't want to be in that group. You want to be in group 1, you want to be group 2. Of course, just use the Mutalisks against the Zerglings. Did not mean I wanted Mutalisks. So we're going to rally these over here. Get these building here. Get this upgrading at the same time. So. Let's see if we can stick this somewhere. So that clears up that wave. We can start thinking about how we're going to deal. Now we've got a spore colony there, so the Mutalisks are not going to be able to kill everything on their own necessarily. Yeah, I think that second hatchery was a good idea. We are going to need to push up here and take these resources quite soon, actually. And we definitely also need an overlord, which I was actually thinking of just before I saw the supply count. So let's see what we can do with these flyers. Can we get an upgrade? We can. I think I'm going to build another overlord just to be cautious. Oh, we've got another 2. So we've got a full control group of Mutalisks now. It's very tempting to swing in here and see what we can get in fact. Ah. So one problem with not being able to rally drones to different places, that's one huge thing I like that they added in StarCraft 2. Separate rally points for your drones. Part of that is because auto mining is a thing in StarCraft 2. Right, okay, actually, I think these will probably grab the attention of that Hydralisk, but then that's not a bad thing, because they can probably kill that Hydralisk very quickly. Okay, I quite like how that's panning out. But, unsurprisingly, the Hydralisks are coming in to protect. However, I think we have that. Now let's just check over there. Okay, that's fine. Right, definitely want to think about building a queen's lair so we can get to upgrade into a hive. What other upgrades have we got? I think that'll be very handy. The melee for the Zerglings is very powerful. Right. Let's do a quick save. I wonder how we're doing actually in terms of
the hive cluster is under attack.
I'm gonna burrow those. Okay. Were there any more that were burrowed?
Our forces are under attack.
Okay. I think there's something to be said for getting an extra spore colony there though. Let's make sure those are mining there. So, I'm not going to worry too much about the queen's upgrades, although I'm going to grab a queen just so we've got her for the parasite ability. Now, we definitely want to start pushing in and taking some gas because we are running low. Now, one other problem we're going to have is that the spore colony is going to cause problems for our Mutalisks. Right, that Mutalisk is nearly dead. Which is...
Our forces are under attack.
Now the Queen isn't going to be able to actually attack anything. See, those defences hugely helpful to us.
Our forces are under attack.
Definitely want to look against some upgrades. See, we need a hive now to do the level 3 research.
Require more
Vespene is our bottleneck now. So, let's make advantage of the fact that we've got a lot of spare minerals and throw a load of Zerglings up there, I guess. And also, while we can, get some more overlords. Although we can afford to mutate to our hive. Right. So let's push up here and see. That is a lot of hydralisks. More than we can take. Gonna pull these back. Now if we can pull them back and sort of kite them, we might be able to... There we go. Let's get some hydralisks. Hydralisks cost gas, but not enough gas that it's not too much gas. Right, let's definitely pull these down here. I think actually, I quite like the idea of getting another colony there, just in case there's any sneak attacks while we're out. So, let's get the melee upgrade, let's get the flyer upgrade. We've got a hive now, so we can go to level 3 upgrades on some things. Let's get some more zerglings. And I think it's going to be time to... Yeah, I think we'll counter-attack here. We nearly have this sunken colony. I'd quite like to take it out. And with that spore colony down, good. Okay, I'm happy with this.
Our forces are under attack.
Now we've got some forces coming in there. A few more hydralisks, a few more. Now what I'm going to do is move over quite a few of these drones. And this will break open the sort of the bottleneck we've got in terms of our Vespene. And we'll build a hatchery here. And I think we are going to have to contemplate what defences we have here as well. So let's get a hatchery down. And while we can, let's get a creep colony. Now fortunately, once the building starts building, it will not die if the creep disappears from underneath it. Which is a little bit different to how they function in StarCraft 2. I'm going to borrow... Yeah. Okay, so one problem we're going to have is we can't actually build creep colonies up there to defend. Or spore colonies. We're going to have to build sunken colonies, I think, around here. Let's get some more of these. Wouldn't mind actually picking up a defiler mound. No. No. Yeah, okay, so Vespine's going to be a huge problem now. Yeah, you can see where the creep isn't spreading to, sort of where is
Our forces are under attack.
Let's get some more overlords. Okay, so these three here, this here, this here, sunken colony here, more drones. Definitely going to need to push back against this. In fact, let's get a Zergling burrowed there. And a Zergling burrowed there as well. Now we're doing okay on the Vespene now. Let's get some more mining drones though.
Forces are under attack.
Right, let's see how they can deal with that. Now let's bring the Mutalisks in. I'm going to want to start massing some more Mutalisks, I think, actually. Mutalisk harassment is a huge part of the Zerg gameplay as well. Right, that's going to block off if I put that there, which is annoying. Not ideal, but we'll go there. That shouldn't be a problem. Now, let me see. Actually, I'm thinking of getting a queen for purposes of sort of scouting. Let's just stick a parasite or two on something. Now, we definitely want to think about getting the defiler upgrades. Very cheap on minerals. Very expensive on the gas. Very much sort of archetypal thing of caster units. Now, these will be easy meat for the Mutalisks.
More minerals.
She's going to need to sort of catch some energy. A few more drones here, but then we are going to need to transfer some over, and we could actually do with finding a place. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering if James is going to use me in this mission. Nope. To expand to. So they've got Dark Swarm, which basically protects you from range attacks while you're under the swarm, and Plague, which does, I think it's something like up to 500 damage, but does not kill. It can't kill, but it can do a lot of damage, and it's very nasty against things like protoss buildings, because damage to the buildings is permanent. It's only the shields that regen. Right, let's clear out these. So we can... Now, was that a Hydra? Yeah, those are Hydralisks, so... She got a lot of energy very quickly. So... We've only got one Mutalisk in that group. Let's definitely get that flyer, that damage upgrade. That will be very important when we've got 200 minerals. In fact, let's get some more while we're waiting. Contradictory. Because that will make us wait a little bit longer now, but it'll be worth it. And then we'll pick off this Hydralisk as well. And there's another one down there, another two. So we will... execute a bit of a harassment there. Mutalisks are not there for a sort of toe-to-toe slugging match so much. They are a harassment unit. They are designed to go in, snipe things and run out, or fly out, I suppose. Might be worth getting some Guardians sort of to attack overlooking there. You can see, in a large number, they can very quickly kill the Hydralisks. Unfortunately, because as with all Zerg, they regenerate the health, and surprisingly, they can be sort of back to full health surprisingly quickly. Let's get some more Mutalisks. We're going to need some more Overlords as well. That's going to need to be a sunken colony. Ooh.
Our forces are under attack.
Definitely going to need to put those in. There we go. Now let's see. Okay, I'm not too worried about that attack there. However, okay, we'll leave that. In fact, the Queen would have been good there because I could have used her to get a parasite off. But it doesn't mean we can't bring her up here. There we go. Let's see what upgrades we can get back at base. Melee level 3. We want that one, definitely. Consume, I think, will be very useful. Because that, you never know when you're going to need extra energy on your defilers. Right, let's parasite that. I don't know if we actually get much vision from it once it burrows. That, however... and she's going to have to leave. Oh, we got 2 queens. Okay, I think is that one parasited? Well, I'm quite pleased with that. That's fine. Definitely more overlords. Right, okay, so that's given us a nice look at that base. Ah! There's some resources up here we definitely want to make use of. Now, is there a ramp we can get up? No. So, how close can we get with an overlord? And do we want to consider getting some guardians?
Our forces are under attack. Evolution complete.
So that zergling's not doing anything. That's going to be very difficult to assault from the air. It'll be doable. It's almost tempting to just drop a load of zerglings down and see what would happen. It's only gas though. That's the other thought. Unless I've just not seen the... I wonder if could that get there? Not surprising. I mean, a large sort of fleet of overlords would be able to do it. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I think I need that territory. So we'll get some more overlords over here. And we'll go in with a load of overlords so there's plenty of targets. I will try and put the empty ones first. So they will hopefully draw the fire first. That can fit a lot more in, as can that, in fact. So these 3 are full. Let's get some more hydralisks and zerglings ready to go. Meanwhile, these can actually probably come back here. Now what's that? Aha! That would have actually been a really good time to have spawn broodling available. Did not realise, it's worth a research, it's a very cheap ability. Did not realise they would drop in with hydralisks, ultralisks, sorry. Right, what else can take some stuff? Okay, and these, I think we'll fit as many as we can in there. Okay. So these can mass here. These can mass at the front, just slightly ahead. And we'll build some replacement overlords just in case we lose some. That's probably too many overlords, but you know. We'll have some spares. So actually I think we'll have 2 full control groups of Mutalisks soon. Now, here's the plan. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move these from behind slightly. And then I'm going to select these. And once those have taken the lead, I'm going to select unload here. So we are going to lose an overlord, but it's better than losing an overlord full of units. Yeah, so it's only a Vespene geyser, so I'm not actually super concerned about taking it over. But for a very, no, that was something of a bargain, I think. So 2 full control groups of Mutalisks. Are those still unloading? They certainly are. Yeah. Right, let's pull one of these queens over here. I'm going to get the energy upgrade just so I can do some more parasites. Right. Okay, that was a high risk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these back down because I don't think they're doing us any good up here. We desperately need some gas later. We've got it as an option. But I don't think it's an urgent thing. And just in time, I think they're going to try and drop on my base here. Somewhat unsuccessfully. Ah. That's certainly a problem. Right.
Forces are under attack.
We're going to need some creep colonies down here. Now, where is that queen? Parasite there. And let's see what else we can get a parasite on. Definitely there. Hopefully won't lose her. Yeah, she's okay. Right. Spore colony there. I'm actually going to build a colony there, so we've got a sunken colony for just in case another zergling slips by again. And also we need to think about how we're going to deal with that base. Now, we should be able to put a colony there any second now. There's actually a temptation to put another spore, sunken. Let's spread these overlords out a little bit. Let's see what we can see over here. So we'll have a sunken colony there just in case 1 or 2 things slip through. So what we can see is that base. Now what I want to also see is see if we can get a queen over here and parasite that overlord. Although I think it's coming. Sadly that doesn't let you see whether they've got things inside.
Our forces are under attack.
I don't think that was going to work very well for that guy. Going fairly heavy on the drops there, but I think we can deal with them. Now what I think I would like to do is get a squadron of guardians to start pummeling from quite far away at those spore towers. That will open things up a lot more for us. How are we doing on the queens? See, it's that cluster there, although there's quite a lot we could deal with. In fact, I wonder if I could do something to that brood lord. Do something to that ultralisk. As much out of spite as anything else. There's a guardian there, that's good to know about. fact, let's really... Yeah, okay, so that's coming to attack. Now one that'll be interesting here is see if we can snipe this. I think so. But there's going to be a large amount of hydralisks. Don't want to push too far. Although that will significantly weaken those defences there. Now, let's make this control group 5. We need a Great Aspire if we're going to do any create any Guardians there. So let's, while we're waiting, make some more Mutalisks. Let's send this guy scouting around here just to see what can be seen. I think there's an argument that could be made for dropping actually in one of these places. So there we go, there's our 5th control group. And eventually we'll be able to get a Great Aspire. It's going to take a long time with our minerals being as depleted as they are though. Right, okay. Well, if anything calls for a load of a Mutalisk swarm, a couple of Hydralisks do. So 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. These are completely defenseless. In fact, okay. So one thing we won't be able to do is completely risk-free attack the sunken colony, but we could probably take a few snipes at it. Now the trick is making sure all of my units don't try and actually probably would have been a good good thing to do hold position there. So 4, hold position, 3. Ah, that's the only problem with doing hold position. Oh, what's going on there? Okay, interesting.
Our forces are under attack.
No, that's the opposite of what I wanted. These are all going in now. Fortunately, it was okay. But what I don't like the look of yet is that swarm down there. But there are a lot of that's a lot of anti-ground units, so we might be able to sort of make them pay for that. Nice attempt at a large drop from them there, but made them suffer for that. But we definitely want to keep some map vision here. Now, let's see if we can get a queen or two. Now, see if that gets repelled. Oh, no, I don't want to attack my own buildings.
Our forces are under attack.
Do you know what I think? I think a counter drop. Oh. Especially considering we are very low on minerals, so... Well, we're not low on minerals, but we are low on the... We don't have any mineral patches left to mine, so... We do certainly have minerals to spend, though. So I think it's time for a very large counter drop. So let's get these out of the way and borrowed. We will use these later once we get a resource patch we can take advantage of.
Our forces are under attack.
I think an assault, a sort of knock on the front door might be in order. You two can burrow.
Our forces are under attack.
Oh, that's... I think it's time.
Our forces are under attack.
Okay.
Our forces are under attack.
Now, fortunately, I think we can quite easily deal with that. Now, that Guardian's going to need to die. Focus down, actually. And we're going to have some backup forces
Our forces are under attack.
over here. You get underground.
Our forces are under attack.
Now we are going to need at least 300 minerals, if potentially. Right, we don't want to squander those forces
Our
there.
forces are under attack.
Now I don't want to... There we go. I want to try and engage en masse.
Our forces are under attack.
Did lose a Mutalisk there.
Our forces are under attack. Our forces
But I think we've mostly cleared that up.
Forces are under attack.
Yeah, I've got to bring those around here. Let's get some vision up this cliff face. Now we've got a potential mining spot if for some reason we needed it. Let's bring the Mutalisk sort of relatively risk-free and to wipe that part up. And let's just have those Zerglings. Yeah, I think they've got that all locked down. I am going to drop some Zerglings up the top though, and I'm going to let them run amok throughout here.
All forces are under attack.
Because they will do a good job of tearing through that, especially because they're completely fully upgraded. And you can see how quickly they attack and just power through everything.
All forces are under attack.
To the point where even the drones are attacking now.
All forces are under attack.
Let's use the... there we go. And I think what we can do is just wheel these around to this entrance here, and again just send everything in. Do the big old A move. Aha! Okay, that's interesting to know. Didn't realise that was actually a through path.
All forces are under attack.
Let's just send these forces in. And there we go, cleaned up.
All forces are under attack.
And there we go. We have cleaned out the rogue Garm brood. Brilliant. Okay, you can see actually, yeah, it's just completely unassigned because they've gone completely rogue and out of control and run amok. So, yes, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.